part 3, like I told you just now, B2 level, very high. Okay, so the requirement is also high. Hi everyone, welcome back to my show Tips and Tricks with Teacher Kiran. Okay, today we are going to move to part 3. In my previous videos, I've shared with all of you on part 1 and part 2. So today I'm going to share with you something from part 3, which is article writing. Okay, so article writing comes under part 3, which is extended writing. It is of higher level compared to part 1 and part 2. It is of B2 level. Okay, so you need to spend around 40 minutes for this section. Alright, so total marks is 60 and you have only 1 hour and 30 minutes for this paper, paper 2. Okay, let's look at part 3. Okay, part 3, like I told you just now, B2 level, very high. Okay, so the requirement is also high. Okay, in this part there are 3 questions actually. They will give you 3 questions. You have to choose one. You only write one from part 3. Okay, and the format given article, you can get an article, you can get a review, you can get a report, you can get a story. Okay, so only 3 questions will be given. You choose one. Okay, and you have to write for in about 200 to 250 words. Okay, right, so these are the criteria for assessment scale. You have the C, the CA, the O and the L, the same for all the essays. Okay, and in article writing you need to know the tone of an article, the format. Okay, so it is the tone is semi-formal actually. It's not really very formal. Again, it depends on the question. So read the question well. Okay, know your targeted readers. Who are you writing this article for? If it is for school magazine, then the readers will be students or people in the school. Okay, know your purpose of writing the article. Provide specific details of the topic that you are going to write about. Okay, share opinions and ideas. Okay, make it interesting. Why? Because you want people to read your article till the end. So you need to retain readers' attention. And of course, you need to write in paragraphs. You need to have your cohesive devices and all, just like the other essays that I've shared. Okay, right. So this is one question sample. All right, from the question paper. Okay, article question. You see this notice on the board outside your school library. So you know already now. So this is from the school. So the targeted readers will be students or people in the school. Okay, articles wanted. Charity organization. Highlight. So the topic here is on charity. Okay, what do you do to raise money for charities? So the question can be quite high level compared to part 1 and part 2, if you notice. Like I told you, right? So this is B2 level. Of course, it is slightly higher. They need to know, we want to know how much you know about charity. The topic here is on charity. Okay? What voluntary activities can be carried out to help the community? Okay, so this is second content point. Content point number 3, what skills can students benefit? So the focus here is on students benefit from being involved in charities. So write us an article answering these questions. The best article will be published in the school magazine. So your targeted readers are the ones who are in school. Okay, mostly students. Okay, let's do some planning. Planning is very important. Okay, so here, for charity organization, number 1, the question asks you what to do to raise money for charity. So you should share about 2 to 3 ideas how to raise money. How can you get money? Where can you get money from? Think. Okay. Why do you actually need this money? Because you want to arrange activities. That comes the second part. What voluntary activities can you do to raise money? Okay, and to help others. And the third one, what skills can students benefit from charity activities? Okay, so you need to read the questions well, highlight the content points and do your planning. Okay, stay with me, we will plan together. Okay, how to raise money? What can you do? Where can you do? Who can get involved with this? Okay, so here are some pictures. You can see there are boxes there. What do you see in the box? What do you see in the boxes? There are some clothes, right? So possibly they are used clothes that still can be used. They still look new. They're still, usable. Okay. And the second one, the picture where everyone is wearing green and all, you can see that I think they are serving some food. Perhaps they are selling food. I'm not sure. Okay, so there is something to do with charity there. And the third one, everyone is running. Maybe it's a marathon or jogathon. Okay, so that's where you can raise money. Okay. So, what can you do to raise money? First and foremost, you cannot do something alone. You should know that. Okay, it should be in a group or in a team. So, discuss and plan as a class task. Perhaps this is by your class or by a society, English society, okay, or environmental club. Okay, you plan together, elect committee members, get your teachers to help you all and guide you all to be in charge of the whole project. Okay, everything is a learning process actually, students. Okay, we don't only learn something for the exam, or we don't learn to everything through books. Okay, sometimes it's through experience. Actually, experience is the best teacher. Yeah. Then you can even organize a jumble sale. A jumble sale is selling used items, pre-loved items. For example, old clothes, old books, school bags, okay, shoes, stationery, okay. Then you can also organize a walkathon or a marathon or a food fair, sell, and you get the money, and then you can help with the charity activities that you are planning, okay, which will be in part 2. Question content point number 2. Okay, then you can even create a donation page on social media, for example, Facebook, okay, or Instagram. You can put in some pictures. Perhaps you want to help the strays, stray dogs, stray cats. Put pictures of them or videos. Okay, make sure when you post something online, they are legit. That means they can be trusted. People will believe you, people will donate. So that's how you can raise some money. So you need to have campaigns, banners, okay, and provide the suitable details, contact number, who is involved. Okay, so all this comes under maturity of ideas in the topic of charity. So part 3 essay is high standard in a way that the topics are of high level compared to part 1 and part 2. But the topics are all from your books, textbook, students. Read the textbook. Okay. Now, the second content point. What voluntary activities can you do? Okay. What will you do with the money you raised? Okay. With the money you have raised from the jumble sale or marathon or jogathon, like I shared in the previous slide. Okay. So, you can buy school supplies and donate to the nearby rural school children, poor children who got no money to buy books, to buy bags, to buy uniform. You donate school supplies, bags, okay, or you buy food ration for flood victims or old folks or orphans. Donate. Okay, what's the meaning of rural? Nearby rural school. Rural here means out of the city, opposite of urban, village area, okay, in the countryside, rural, right. You can even use the money to feed strays, buy food for the stray dogs, stray cats around your housing area perhaps, okay. And you can in fact give free tutoring, free classes. So you use the money to buy books or notes for students you tutor. Perhaps you are good in mathematics. So you help the students who are weak in mathematics, maybe in the primary school. After your school holidays, after your exam, during your school holidays, after your exam, you can do all this kind of charity work as students. So be logical when you choose the activities for charity. must be related to your level as students. How much can you do? So free tutoring is very good. I know students who are really good in English. Maybe you can help students who are not good, the pupils, the primary pupils. Okay, teach them reading, teach them how to spell words. Okay, besides, you can also visit old folks' home, orphanage. Okay, accompany them, have activities with them, make them feel happy. Okay, it's no fun staying in an orphanage or an old folks' home, right? It's different. It's not the same as staying with your family in your house. Okay, perhaps you can even clean up that area. Okay, have a clean-up project. So these are the activities you can do. That is content point number 2. And content point number 3, the skills that students can benefit from charity activities. You can improve on your social skills. You are able to speak to people. You know how to explain on your activities, your charity activities. You know how to ask for donations. Okay, you know how to sell things. All right. That's good. And leadership skills, of course, in a committee member, there may be some students are involved in, you are in charge of the finance, you are in charge of food, maybe you are in charge of something else. So you are leading a team. So you are learning a skill here, leadership skill. You know how to organize activities, okay, manage the money that you have raised. And you can learn how to cooperate, work in group. This is a skill where you learn how to give and take, how to work together. So these are the skills you can benefit from the charity activities. Okay, so how do you plan this? It's the same as the previous videos that I've shared. Planning is very, very important. So maybe for the introduction, you can write what is charity, why charity is important. What is charity? Yes, charity is a voluntary giving of help in the form of money or things to help others, those in need. Okay, then maybe paragraph 2, you can focus on the content, how to raise money, give some ideas, give some specific details. Okay, don't speak on the surface, you have to go deep, give specific details. Students, to get marks for part 3, we need to see how much you know, the words that you use are appropriate to the topic. Okay, right. And paragraph 3, perhaps you can go to the second content point, voluntary activities that you can have. Paragraph 4, you can write on how can students benefit. And finally, closure. There must be a sum up and a hope that more people will join in and do charity for others. Okay. So this is the assessment scale. SPM assessment scale. If you notice, the content is the same for part 1 and part 2. For communicative achievement, you see, you need to be to write something that's interesting, able to hold the reader's attention. Okay, and when you communicate, when you give ideas, it's at ease. That means no problems with sharing of ideas. You know the topic very well, you explain well. So semi-formal tone. Okay, organize well. Okay, you have paragraphs and variety of cohesive devices, very well used. Okay, for language you have less common lexes, okay, simple and complex structures, occasional errors and slips, but very less, hardly any. That's when you can get 5 marks. If you have errors in every single sentence, then definitely you cannot get 5 marks for language. But you can still get 5 marks for content if you have answered the question. So the most important part is the content. Okay, students, and make sure it's interesting to get 5 marks. Now, if you miss one content point, that's when you get 3 marks for content. And if, let's say, your ideas are not specific enough and all that, the tone is not appropriate, you wrote it like a story, you use past tense, usually articles are written in present tense. Okay, so, and it should be interesting to get 3 marks as well. If it's not interesting, then you cannot get 3 marks for CA. Okay, and the text must be organized. Variety, still using variety of cohesive devices to get 3 marks. It's different from part 2. Yeah? Part 2 is limited number of cohesive devices for 3 marks. Here you still need a variety. Okay, and the vocab must be really good as well. Everyday vocabulary and some less common lexes inappropriately used. Okay, So you can see the band is quite high. And 1 mark is when you have 2 missing content points. Very limited ideas. Okay, and limited number of cohesive devices. You get 1 mark. Okay, and then very basic vocab, simple structures, errors are noticeable, though meaning is clear, you can get 1 mark. So students, you can see it's different compared to part 2 and part 1 scale. Okay, it's higher level here. However, please remember to always read the questions and highlight the content points. Do some planning, okay, and always check your timing, write your paragraphs, write in paragraphs, vary your structures, effective vocabulary must be used, and always check proofread, okay. And please do not waste time counting the words. The length will not affect your marks. This is a very serious reminder because even my students like to count the words. Don't do that, please students, don't do that, okay? You are wasting time. So, for part 3, another important fact is to remember this SIM. You need to have specific ideas, specific examples, interesting ideas. You want to hold the reader's attention, and the ideas must be mature, M for mature, SIM. You need to have these 3 for part 3 essays, okay? Right, I hope I've helped enough. I wished all of you a very good luck for the coming SPM exam, okay? I'm sure you can do your best. Thank you so much and stay tuned for my next videos. Don't forget to subscribe to SSTP Kedah. Yeah, bye-bye.